Hey guys, happy Sunday from Omardobot, and it's Sunday, and we haven't done one in a while. A little product preview of something that's coming. So, one of the main issues that people have had now with the 1050 series, 1100 series, on a lot since the Lyman Mark 7 systems have come out that have extra spaces in the tool head, is that one of the drawbacks with this system is that your powders here, if you have a bullet drop here, which is, if you're running automated, you got a bullet drop here, and then you seat here, and then you crimp here. But if you want a powder check, then you have to give this up and then do your bullet drop here, and then your sheet crimp here when the combination die, which have never turned out really well for anybody. They're horrible. And people thought, well, it may change the tool head. Well, you can't change the tool head. There's only so many spaces here available underneath on the shell plate and the way this is designed. We've looked at different ways, trying to figure out ways to do powder sensing somewhere between here and here. People have tried lasers. I've tried a laser. We've had problems with that. There's a lot of, when you're playing with laser reflections and you have little crystalline powders, you get some weird results sometimes. Never been really happy with it. Instead, talking to a lot of commercial guys, pre-priming the brass and then changing how you load here so that this is no longer your powder drop is the best plan. We've tried that out and we've been super happy with doing that, and we stuck with that on how we do it. We don't try to do this one pass all kind of thing. People think they're saving time, but in reality what you end up with is 9 places where you can have a problem and cause a lot of problems. And most of those problems are trying to prime the brass while doing everything else. If you're just priming brass, these things run a lot better than having all of these stations trying to do something, and when something goes wrong, trying to make sure all the stations are in the right position. So we worked on it, saw a couple of different ways of moving the powder station over here to, some people call this station 3, some people call it station 2, but basically the swage station on a Dillon. We're not the first ones who've done this, definitely not. There's been other people who've done this in the past, but what we've seen is they usually kludge something together. They'll take the entire priming stack off, they'll put an aluminum block here, or they'll make a block here, and they'll run the rod through it, and it's a kludge, and it requires you to take the priming system on and off the machine. We didn't want to take the priming system off the machine, we just didn't want to use it. So we're not using it, we literally just pull the back and slide the slide out of there so it doesn't come in and out of the machine anymore. And there's no primers in the stack, but the stack stays there. So we're going to take everything apart. So we got down to this, and we've done, we did a bracket. We placed a bracket down here. We had a bracket here. It worked great on our 1050s. We weren't doing this on the 1100s. We were doing it on our 1050s. The other day we were asked if we could do this on the 1100 because somebody literally said you cannot move the powder over anywhere off the tool head. So challenge accepted. Yes, we moved it. We changed our design a little bit so that this worked better on the 1100 and the 1050, so we can make one bracket that was universal across the 1050, the CP, and the 1100 series machines. So here's the new universal bracket. Of course, these are printed. We print a lot of stuff around here. We print it when we're making it. We generally print it and use what we printed before we ever do anything and make it in aluminum or Delrin or anything. So the original ones we used were printed, and we used those for, I don't know, 20, 30,000 rounds and didn't have any issues with it. No real issues at all with cracking or breaking or anything, because the way we print these things is pretty solid. But we're going to make these out of aluminum for commercial sale. The trick is these rods aren't long enough to do this, so we have an extension rod on here. There's a spring and another washer in here. It's the same thing, does the kind of the same thing as the big giant, or the super strong compression spring that Dillon puts on them. And instead of these press-on nuts that they use, that they want you to spin up and spin up and spin up, and it takes forever to do. This is super fast because you literally just thread this piece on right here and that's done, because it's the exact right length it needs to be as it goes in. There's another spring in here, provides that soft compression in there, so you can see the goes up, does what it does, goes down, opens and closes like it's supposed to. Quick and easy. And then on the 1100, There's just a spacer for the 1100 because the distance from here to here is about half the distance. This is the same distance on the CP, but on the 1100 this has changed in the distance. So yeah, on the CP there's a second bracket, you use the bottom bracket. Literally just a spacer, which is the same as the rollers we put on these, the same piece. It just goes in here between the bottom washer and the spring and pushes this up a little bit, which provides the correct stroke length of shortening for this to work with the 1100 series because of the distance here that's been changed. So we're gonna get to the shop. We're gonna get ourselves some estimates and quotes on making these in aluminum. These definitely work on all the AMOBOTs. We made sure that there's no contact back here. You can do this manually if you want to run this manually with an outer handle. There may sometimes, depends on if you're using the short handles and the AMOBOTs with the rubber sleeve on them, it can actually come across in contact, but it doesn't really mean anything. There's a reason this is a slot, not a hole, so this floats. So if anything contacts it, it doesn't change anything about it. It doesn't allow it to get bent and broken. So it works on the short handle, it works on the removable handle, it works on the Mark 7 because there's no handle sitting there. It pretty much should work on any automated machine, and it definitely works pulling by hand. So we should have these kits out probably in the next couple weeks. We get these parts already on order so we can start kitting them. We are literally just waiting for a shop estimate on how long it's going to take us to get these parts cut in aluminum and done. Oh yeah, it will definitely come with 2 new screws because the Dillon plate, those screws aren't long enough to go through that. And it is thick because we want the strength back here so this doesn't have any stress on it. So anyway, a couple weeks from now, and you should be able to transition yourself to a full changeover where you pre-prime your brass and then come run and just load your brass. Instead of doing all of that, you're just going to literally just load your brass, and then you'll be able to put your powder check here and then leave all the rest of this the normal way. Just you can come in and put a powder check in here and get it up and running. So as always, come get loaded.